The doctor said that she would not be able to walk. Even if she were to survive, she wouldn't be able to walk, talk, be independent ever again. Since I had Elena so young, I was 19, we kind of grew up together. So she had Down syndrome. When Laina was born, I found out that she had Down syndrome. It wasn't detected in my pregnancy, but this did not contribute to her passing away. So Elena had a pediatric stroke. She had blood clots in her brain. That happened pretty quickly. She was not a sick child. She was fine. It was summertime. She passed away on July 22nd, 2023. So it was in the summer. She had a doctor's appointment earlier that day because she did have like a curve in her spine, scoliosis. And so she went to the orthopedic doctor just to get that checked on. She would get x-rays to get it checked on and make sure it's not getting any worse. So the doctor's visit went really, really well. She had a really good day. She was a bit more tired than she usually is, which was kind of odd, but I was just like, yeah, you know, some days you don't feel it. Like today, I'm a little bit more tired than I usually am. When it got time for bedtime around 7:30, I went to go check on her and she was laying on the floor, which is usual, but she was laying on her back, which is unusual. I called her and she really didn't get up, but she was awake. Her eyes were open and she was awake. And so I knew something was wrong then. And I called my mom who lives down the street. I called the doctor. It was after hours, so I called her doctor's office to talk to a nurse on the nurse line. I gave her lots of fluids because I was like, maybe she's dehydrated, maybe she's just not feeling good. And then she popped back up. She got back into her normal self, her normal rhythm, but I still talked to the nurse. And the nurse said, just keep an eye on it. If she's back to normal and she's responding to you, just keep an eye on it. And so I said, okay. And my mom came over here because she lives a few minutes away and she has a nursing background. And so we just kind of checked her vital signs, made sure everything was looking and sounding okay, asked her questions. She could answer the questions. And then she threw up. And I was like, this is not, something else is going on. And so I called the doctor back and the doctor said, well, just keep an eye on her. Give her lots of fluids. Maybe that was the reason why she was acting kind of funny. We continued to monitor, left her in her room. My room is here and her room is right across the hall. So we kind of hear and see things. Not even 10 minutes later, she fell out of bed. And so we took her to the children's hospital and they sent us home. They said it was anxiety, it was nothing. But by the morning, she was paralyzed and she could not walk. She could not talk. So we took her back to the children's hospital and that's where they did the scan to figure out that she had blood clots in her brain. And so they did surgery. They did an emergency surgery to get the blood clots out. She had 3 blood clots in her brain. And then she went down to ICU. She did fine for the surgery. She went down to ICU and she was supposed to wake up in the next maybe 6 hours. And she never really fully woke up. She would kind of respond to me talking to her, or you know, if I kind of bothered her or like messed with her neck, she would kind of move around, checking her brain every day, and things just got worse. Her brain started to swell. After a while, this was on Tuesday, by Saturday, the doctor said that she would not be able to walk. Even if she were to survive, she wouldn't be able to walk, talk, be independent ever again. The hardest aspect during the 5 days in the hospital was accepting that this is about to be over and not being able to save her. I couldn't stop her from having a stroke. I couldn't save her. And I could save her from everything. I saved her. I protected her all 14 years of her life. So Laina passed away on Saturday around 6:45 p.m. She lived about 20 minutes, which was wild, off of any machines. And I got to lay with her and I got to talk to her and I got to hold her as she passed away. I just waited. I waited and prayed with her, and I told her it was okay, that she could leave. And so after she passed away and the doctor came and said and confirmed that she was gone, I left the room. My family took me out of the room and I left her there so other people could love on her. It has been a wild journey. I am not the same person that I was on July 21st. I'm not the same person I was on July 22nd at 5 p.m. I am a totally different person. And in the beginning stages of my grief journey, my family and friends really understood and they stood by me, but I don't have that anymore. It's been almost 2 years and I've lost family. I lost the job that I had. I was laid off a couple months after Laina passed away. I lost a lot because I'll never get love like Laina gave me. Laina loved me unconditionally through and through, and no one has given me that since, and I don't think anyone ever will. Since Laina's passed away, it has been very hard for me to be around children. I've shared that with everyone. It's very hard for me to go to like kids events. It's very hard for me to go to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving with my family and look at all the kids opening gifts and all the things, and knowing that my seed is missing. It's just me. I shared that, and I continue to share it. And eventually I noticed that I stopped being invited to things. Like, I just am not invited to the things. I don't get a chance to even say yes or no. And then I started to notice that not only am I not getting invited to things, but I'm also, like, if I ask about it, it's also like being kind of deceptive about, oh no, we didn't really go there. And so to me, it's like, okay, well, you're like purposefully leaving me out of the family. And so I just take a break from the family and try to figure this out on my own. The only support that I have, and it is coming. I mean, of course I have my couple of friends that I count on, but I think that the support outside of that I have is like the TikTok community. I go live every day on TikTok, and I have built a community there that is so supportive and so loving. And I don't know half of these people, but they keep on coming back. They keep on coming back, and we've built a community there. There are tons of people who come into my room every day, and they've lost people. They'll comment and say, oh, my son passed away, or my daughter passed away, or my husband passed away, and they can resonate with some of the things that are going on. Like with this familial issue that is happening in my life and the lack of support, this is new. This has been, I don't think I've talked to my parents in a couple of weeks. So this is pretty new. And when I shared it, I thought about how I was going to share it, if I wanted to share it. And I knew that I could not share it, because there's so many people who are going through something similar, and they don't say anything because they think it's crazy, or they think they're crazy, or they think it's different. And when I decided to share the whole issue with my family not being supportive, and me having to really stand on my boundaries that I have with even my parents, a lot of people resonated with that in the community that I've built. And they're like, I'm going through the same thing, and my sister passed away a couple years ago. They say the same things are happening to them. So this is so common in grief, and nobody really talks about it because it's not pretty. Laina cheers me on, and I think she's really happy that I am living the life that I'm living. I think she's like, yes, mama, like you're doing it. Like you spent so long taking care of me, and now you are doing it. You have changed your life, and you are really making it and doing well, and you're making a difference. And Laina loved attention, but I know that there's no other choice, because I am so vulnerable and sensitive. Like my mental health is it could like switch up at a drop of a dime, and so I am very protective of that. And I don't care who you are, like my mental health comes first. And that is what I've had to learn in this grief journey. I've cried on people's shoulders. I have gone through like thoughts where I didn't want to be here, and I've called people and said, I don't want to be here anymore, help me. All those things. I've done this in my grief journey, and all those people have left. And none of those people loved me on the way that I was asking. And so at this point, yes, I'm very much like, I'm going to love on me in the way that I've been begging everybody to love on me. I'm going to love on me. And if people aren't standing up to the expectations that I have set up for myself, then I'm going to give you space, and I'm going to love on me, because I can't jeopardize my mental health being around you or begging you for something that you don't have the capacity to give. I mean, I wish people had more empathy. I don't wish this pain on anybody. And I tell people all the time, like, because I think that some people look at my life and my lifestyle, because I love to dance, and I will date. First of all, the dance has helped my brain power. Like, I feel like I'm just working my brain and I'm remembering things, and that is helpful. It's healthy. And then it just brings me so much joy. Like, just doing a dance, it's like releasing just all the stress, just like when I'm lifting weights. And I wish that people look at me and I feel like sometimes it's envy. But don't envy this. This is the most pain that I have been through in my life, and I can't ever shake it. Like, I can't get it off of me. And as much as I try to do things and move around, this pain always follows me. And not a lot of people have empathy for that. Like, not a lot of people think about the struggles that I go through every day to put a smile on my face, or to get myself together, or to get out of bed in this house by myself. Not a lot of people think about that. And I wish that people did, because I'm stuck with this, and I just have to find a way to make it. If I could say anything to anyone who is experiencing any loss of anything, because you can grieve anything, it doesn't have to be a person, you're not alone. And I think that at times, or I know that it gets very lonely, and it feels so isolating. Like, I feel like I'm going through the worst pain. I feel like nobody understands, but somebody does. And that is why I share my story, because I want people who feel unseen to feel seen, and to understand, like, oh, well, Jo has gone through some stuff. It's not pretty. This is not pretty, and she's really making the best out of it. Hopefully I will help some people with that. You're not alone.